Okay, I think it's about time that we spoke about the PRX Powermatic 80 movement, specifically about the plastic parts inside of them, and why I potentially believe them to be a bad thing. Now, I spoke about this last year in a video that I made called 10 Amazing Watches That Suck to Own, and within the space of about 40 seconds, I just claimed that there are some plastic parts inside of the PRX, and that the Powermatic 80 movement doesn't have an adjustment lever for fine-tuning of the accuracy. Now, I cut that section out of the video and I uploaded it as a YouTube short. Now, that short went on to get 500,000 views, and clearly it sparked a lot of conversation and a lot of controversy about the statements that I made. Now, there are a lot of armchair watchmakers that commented on the video and the short, basically telling me that I'm an absolute idiot. However, they clearly didn't listen to the points that I actually made. I claimed that the Powermatic 80 movement inside of the PRX features plastic parts, which is factually correct. Here is a picture of the plastic escape wheel, and here is a picture of the plastic pallet fork. Two plastic parts, there you go. And I claim that the movement doesn't have adjustment levers for fine-tuning of the accuracy. And here is a picture of the Powermatic 80 movement that doesn't feature adjustment levers for fine-tuning of the accuracy. So in terms of those statements, I feel comfortable that everything I said was true. Now, most of the comments in that video made some counterpoints towards those plastic parts and why they could actually be a good thing for the Powermatic 80 movement. The first being self-lubrication. So because these parts are made from plastic, and typically they are made from metal, metal on metal tends to need lubrication. It needs some sort of oil so that it doesn't rub against each other and destroy the parts. Also, the lubrication of the metal parts helps with accuracy too. However, plastic on plastic doesn't need lubrication. The second claim was that these parts are now more anti-magnetic. Now, I won't try and claim for a second that these two things aren't true. Potentially they are, potentially they're not. I am not an expert watchmaker, so I don't know. I do believe, though, that saying this is potentially giving a little bit too much respect to Tissot and ETA. Maybe they have done this to benefit the movement, or maybe they've done it for another reason. Let me explain. Now, with pretty much any mechanical watch that you own, you'll be able to take it to a local watchmaker and they should be able to service it. The majority of movements from Miyota, Seiko, Sellita, those all have parts that are available online to buy. So if something goes wrong in your movement, you can take it to your local watchmaker, they can order the parts for you, and then they can put it inside of the watch and fix the watch for you. Now, typically a local watchmaker will be able to fix your watch a lot quicker than sending it back to the brand that made it, and typically they'll probably charge you a lower price. However, it is a lot harder for a local watchmaker to service a movement that they don't have access to parts for. Which means one thing, you'll have to send that movement, you'll have to send the watch if you want to get it serviced back to Tissot and ETA. And the likeliness is that Tissot will take out the movement, they'll put a new one in, and they'll throw your old one in the bin. It's not worth their time to take it apart and clean all of those parts. It's simply more cost effective to take it out and plop in a new one. Now, as a romantic when it comes to watch collecting, that's just something that I don't appreciate. I like the idea of parts lasting a lifetime. The watch movement can outlast the owner if it's treated correctly and serviced regularly, but the Powermatic 80 movement inside of the PRX isn't made to be that way. It is almost made to be exclusively serviced with Tissot, and it's also made to be disposable. Now let's get on to the second claim that I made with those adjustment levers. Now, when your Seiko movement, let's say your Seiko NH35, starts to run a little bit slow or a little bit quick, it is super easy to regulate these parts yourself at home. I have done this many of times. If I buy a Seiko and it's running 15-20 seconds fast, you can adjust it yourself with simple tools. All you need is a watch accuracy meter on your phone and a little tool to be able to prod those levers. And within a few minutes, you can get that watch running close to 0 seconds. However, with the free sprung balance, it is much harder to do, especially for a beginner, especially for a new collector. Now, a local watchmaker will be able to regulate the watch for you very easily, but it'll certainly cost you a lot more than doing it yourself at home. And some local watchmakers probably won't even want to touch this movement. They'll probably advise you just to send it back to Tissot. It's almost like there's only one option for this movement to be serviced. With this version of the Powermatic 80 movement, they're basically guaranteeing themselves future work. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, power to them, but it's definitely something that you should consider when picking up a watch that costs $600. I personally think it's much better to get a movement that can be serviced by any local watchmaker, that parts are readily available online so that you can buy them easily, and you're not pigeonholed to service with one particular company. Now, this is all just speculation and my opinion too. Some people will swear by the Powermatic 80 that's inside of the PRX and say that it's a fantastic movement, and it is. It's a great movement. An 80-hour power reserve on an affordable watch is fantastic, and for the 5 to 10 years that watch will be running perfectly for, no issues at all. But when it does come time for that watch to need a service, you'll likely have to send it back to Tissot. And by the way, not all of the Powermatic 80 movements are the same. Each watch model from different brands has a different version of the Powermatic 80. Some of them feature silicium parts, and some of them are made the exact same as traditional watch movements. But the movement inside of the Tissot PRX Powermatic 80 does feature plastic parts, and that is something that you may want to consider before buying the watch. Also, armchair watchmakers, I'm ready for you this time. Let's go, let's have it. If you want to go and watch the original video that I spoke about the Powermatic 80 movement and see where all this drama came from, then go and watch it. It's over here, and I'll see you over there, okay? Bye for now.